Data Migration 101. The FCS database is structured as a multi-level database. We have companies, multiple companies within the database, and you may call these clients or you may call them customers, but we call them companies, so it's important that we talk the same kind of language. Underneath those companies we have properties. Some companies have lots of properties, some have a few. You may call these properties different things in your system, such as sites, jobs, roofs, or projects. But we call them properties, so it's important that we always have the same language the way we communicate. For both properties and companies, there's people. Okay, company might be the corporate guy, properties might be store managers. Those are all FCS contacts. Every property has a company, every contact has a company or a property. Now, in order to enter more companies into your system, we'll tackle companies first. You can just click a simple button and you can enter the companies one by one. But I'm going to guess your preference is going to be to batch process it. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a spreadsheet that's going to become the map by which we're going to accomplish that. We're going to focus on company first, and basically we want your company records to look like our company records. The way that happens is you're going to export the data out of your database into a CSV file. You're going to take those two spreadsheets and you're going to keep them in separate windows and line them up, and you're going to work to align the columns and the content of your CSV file from your database to line up with the content and columns of our database. Then you'll select that data, including the headers, and literally copy and paste it into your FCS map. Next is mapping your properties. Now, each of your companies has a unique identifier, in that any of the properties that you want to attach to that particular company have to contain that unique identifier. So let me show you that in a spreadsheet form. So as you can see, you've got the property, you've got all the fields that you're going to extract for the properties, and the one critical field there is the company number. So that company number is the number that designates that that Main Street property goes under the FCS company with the same unique identifier. So when you're doing your export, it's going to be very similar to when you did it with the company records, in that you're going to do an export from your system of those property records. You're going to line both of those CSV or spreadsheets together, and you're going to make sure that the columns and the content of the columns matches. You'll once again highlight and copy that information from your database's CSV file into the FCS mapping CSV. After completion of your property records, you'll go to the Contact tab. You can see it's selected at the bottom there. And basically you're going to process them the same way that you process the companies and the properties. However, there's two new fields there, one called property number and one called company number. Each contact has to be associated with a property within the system or a company within the system. A simple example would be a store manager is going to be associated with the property, and maybe the corporate vice president is going to be associated with the company. After completion of importing even a test sample of your companies, properties, and contacts, forward them to us to be able to conduct a simple compatibility test to ensure that the fields will be imported correctly into your new FCS core. We'll be able to provide you with a detailed report on the success of the import and areas that we might need to make some adjustments in order to provide for a smooth transition.